Horatio Nelson, covering the greatest soldiers of the Napoleonic Wars, Episode 4. Nelson would be born on the 29th of September, 1758, in Norfolk, England. At the age of just 12, in January of 1771, Horatio would join the Royal Navy, serving under his uncle, who was an influential captain. The young Nelson would then get his first command in 1777 in the American War of Independence, commanding a small schooner affectionately named Little Lucy. Later on, Nelson would get command of a frigate, making post captain at the age of just 20, being a very impressive feat for his age. In 1780, Nelson would lead an assault to capture Fort San Juan in Nicaragua. It would be a Pyrrhic victory. Out of around 1,900 men, only 380 would live. After the war, Nelson would be stuck in Britain at half pay, until 1792, when the French Revolution would break out. Nelson would get command of the 64-gun HMS Agamemnon, forgive my Greek. On February 14th, 1797, Nelson would fight the battle that would make him a hero. Cape St. Vincent, the British were outnumbered 2-1 against the Spanish. During the battle, Nelson would ram his 74-gun ship into a Spanish 114-gun ship and another Spanish 80-gun ship, capturing them both, making him a hero back in Britain. Later, Nelson would lead a nighttime attack on the Spanish port of Santa Cruz, but before he could even get off his boat, a Spanish bullet ripped through his arm, shattering bone and ripping a major artery. He would be saved by his stepson, who used a silk handkerchief as a tourniquet to stop the intense bleeding. They would amputate most of his right arm. From August the 1st to the 3rd, 1798, Nelson would fight near the Nile in Egypt, successfully capturing the French fleet that was acting as transportation and holding all of Napoleon's spoils of Egypt. In 1801, Nelson would battle in Copenhagen. The Danish fleet deeply battered the British, but upon being signaled to retreat from his commander's ship, Nelson would put his spyglass up to his blind eye and would say. Nelson would then win the battle by bluffing to the Danish prince that he would set fire to the captured ships, which still had their crew on board, if the firing did not stop. On October the 21st, 1805, Nelson would see his last but greatest battle, Trafalgar. Napoleon hoped to invade Britain, but to do so he needed his joint Franco-Spanish fleet. Nelson spotted the fleet off the coast of Spain and attacked with his own. Urging straight in, his bold plan paid off. The battle was almost won. At about 1:15, a French Marine would shoot Nelson, the ball going into his shoulder, through his lungs, and getting stuck in his spine. There wasn't much the surgeon could do. At 4:30, Nelson would die.